Hey everyone, so in this tutorial I'm going to be teaching you how to create a membership or a subscription website using Eleventy Static Site Generator and Memberstack, which is going to handle all of our membership login and authentication. So this is the final test application we're going to be building. It's just a simple kind of landing page, and as you can see down here at the bottom, there's two account memberships. There's a basic, which is $49 a month, and there's a premium, which is $4.99 a year. So if we go back to the top, and if I log in, well, actually let me show you something first. If I try to access the basic account without logging in, it's going to redirect me back to the login page. So let me log in. So now I'm logged in as a user with the basic account, and it redirects me to the basic account page. And I can log out. And then if I log in again as a premium member, it will take me to the premium account, and as a premium member you also get access to the basic account. So it'll take me to that as well. So let's just log out. So that's what we're going to be building, so let's get started. Okay, so this tutorial, you can find a link to this article in the description. It is basically a screencast for a long blog article that I wrote, which goes into detail of with all the links, all the screenshots, and all the commands that you're going to need to build this. So the URL is right here, howtocode.io/Jamstack Eleventy Memberstack, and you can check the description for the link. So the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to come over here to the repo for this course, and we're going to clone it. So let's just copy this, head over to our terminal, and just go into whatever directory you would like, and let's clone this repository. And then cd into it. Now as you can see, there's a few different folders in here. That's because I have a few different articles for different Jamstack applications and tutorials. But for this one, we're going to use the Eleventy Memberstack, so just cd into that one. And you'll notice there's two folders, a final and a start. They're somewhat self-explanatory. The final is the final project, but the start is the one that we want to begin with. So let's cd into that. And here we go. And let's open that up in our code editor. And while that's opening up, let's install all of our packages. Great. Okay, so now that we've got all of our packages installed, let's run up the local dev server and take a look at what we're working with. So we just do npm run start. This will spin up a local dev server. So if you go to localhost port 8080, here's our site. So this site, by the way, was given to us by Memberstack. I just kind of compiled it and put it together within Eleventy to make it a little bit easier to work with. So let me kind of give you a quick overview of the code and how everything is kind of put together. So what they gave us originally was just a zip file with a whole bunch of static HTML, CSS, and JavaScript files. So what I did is I took those files and I put them into Eleventy, and I'm using the Nunjux templating language. So this way I don't have to have a separate head and a separate footer and copy and paste all my code throughout every single page. So if you see how this looks in this index page, this is Nunjux syntax. And you'll see what it's doing is it's extending this file called layouts/base.html. And so you can find this file in this includes folder, layouts base.html. And so essentially what I did is each file had its own head and its own kind of script section, footer section. So what this layout file does is now every single file will inherit from this file. So the head section is pretty straightforward than the body section, and then you see this block right here. So this is Nunjux. So now any file that I want to inherit, I just put whatever content I want inside of this block, which I've called content, and then the content from in here will be injected into this layout. So you can see the syntax up here says it extends layout base.html, and then here's my block content, which is what will be injected right here. So any code that I have within this block right here, and if I scroll all the way down to the bottom, it's kind of long, and here's my end block, anything between these two blocks will be injected into this layout. And so very quickly, that's basically what I'm using Eleventy for. I'm using this nunjuck syntax just to make things a little bit cleaner and a little bit easier to work with. So the next step is we need to actually set up our Memberstack account. So let me log out. So you need to go over to memberstack.com and you can sign up for a free account. And then once you've done that, you just need to log in. And you'll be asked, you'll come to a screen probably like this, or you might see a different screen. You'll see it in the article where it's going to ask you to select the type of website that you want to add. And because I already have one working, that's what I was showing you in the demo. But if you click on the add website, you'll be presented with a screen similar to this, and we're going to do HTML and CSS. So we need to give it a name, so we'll just call it, I've already used that one, so just call it YouTube. Don't click the start from a template, we already have that. Yes, we do need to accept payments, currency, just leave it as US, hit let's go. And so now we'll be presented with the Eleventy dashboard. When you first land on the dashboard, Memberstack gives you this very handy checklist area right here, and if you just follow these steps, it kind of walks you through step by step of what we need to do in order to set up our membership site. So first we're going to click on this create membership, and then we're going to click new membership. And so the first one we're going to set up is our basic plan. Just leave it as basic. It does require a payment, and the payment, I believe, is $49. Yep, it's $49 a month for basic. So let's do 49, and the billing frequency, we'll leave it as monthly. You can ignore the free trial, set up free, collect taxes, things like that. Then the next thing you want to do is click on this hide content button. And this is going to tell Memberstack which pages to hide. So this is basic plan. So what I've done here is essentially, this is for the basic plan. And so when it says hide pages and folders, specify which folders and pages you want to hide from non-members. So essentially any URL that starts with basic, if you remember, if we go back here and we go to /basic.account, that's how we would get access to the basic side. So any URL that has basic in it, and you make sure that this says starts with, if someone isn't logged in or they're not subscribed to that subscription, then they're going to get redirected. And that's where this section comes in where it says access denied page. So if they don't have access, where should we send them to? And we're just going to send them to the login page again. So hit create. Cool. So make sure that all should be toggled on automatically. And then they want to know the page that we redirect the users to once they sign up. So we're going to send them to basic/account. Then for page after login, it's going to be the same location, basic account, and the page after they log out, just leave that. If you leave that blank, that'll redirect them to the home page. So just reiterate that real quick. Once they've signed up to the basic plan, it's going to send them to the basic/account page. And then once they come back to the website and they log in, it's going to send them to the same location, basic account. Once they log out, it's just going to redirect them to the home page. So click create membership. Oh, I'm sorry. You know what? If you wanted to redirect to the home page, you just leave that off. It does it by default. So create. Okay, so now let's do a new membership again. This time we're going to do premium. We're going to require a payment, and the payment is, I believe it's $499 for the year. Yep. So price is $499. It's going to be yearly. Ignore the free trial. And let's do hide content again. So this is premium plan. And the folders we want to hide is anything in the URL that begins with premium. So remember last time we did basic, but because we're in the premium account, any URL that starts with premium, we're going to hide to users who do not have access to that. And if they are denied, if they try to log in or access that content without having the proper authentication, we redirect them to the login page. So let's create that. And now as a premium member, you can see we have both plans and basic is toggled off, but as a premium member, you also should have access to the basic plan, so make sure that both of these are toggled on. And so the page that they're going to be redirected to once they sign up is the premium account section, and after they log in is going to again be the premium account, and leave that unchecked. So create membership. Okay, so now that we've got both of our membership plans configured and set up within Memberstack, we need to actually integrate these plans and Memberstack itself into our Eleventy website. So the first thing we're going to do is set up the basic plan. So if you click on this sign up link, it's going to give you this URL, but if you click this, I prefer to do it this way. It's where it says I'd rather use data attributes, and then you're going to copy this little code snippet right here. And so then we're going to head back to our code. We're going to go to our index.html file, and then around line 232, okay, in this code block here, let's see if I can shut that. You can see here's the HTML code for our sign up link where it says get started. So this link is this button right here. And so what we need to do is we're going to add that attribute right here. So let me break this out so you can see it a little bit better. So our sign up button for the basic plan now has this data attribute which is given to us by Memberstack, and this is what's going to connect Memberstack and this basic subscription plan with this button. So that way when they sign up, they can give us the appropriate amount of money, and then when they log in and everything, Memberstack will associate them to the correct membership. So now that we've got that set up, let's do the same thing for our premium. So under premium, sign up link, I'd rather use data attributes, and we're going to copy this. And then we're going to go back to our code. And then this one lives around here, right around line 250 right here. Here's the sign up as it gets started. So we're just going to do the same thing here. So now this is for our premium button. So now we've got a different ID. So again, Memberstack knows which one's which. Okay, so now that we've got that set up and configured, let's head back to Memberstack and let's go back to our dashboard. And now our next step in the setup checklist is to install this header code. So let's copy this code, and then we are going to go back here, and remember inside of that includes layouts, that base layouts file I was talking about. Just above the closing head tag, I've put a little comment in there for you of where to paste in that Memberstack script. So we're just going to paste that in, and this is just a script tag with our Memberstack ID, and this is what's going to allow us to communicate and authenticate with Memberstack. Okay, making good progress. So let's go back to the dashboard. And so now what we need to do is we need to integrate our login form. So if we go back up to the top and we go to login, we need to configure and set up these email and these password fields with Memberstack. So back here underneath our checklist, there's a more features section, and then click on this add a login form. Okay, so once we are on the login page, we can leave the email and the password fields because that's what we have on our login. If we scroll down here to the login form type, we're just going to click on build a custom login form. And then again, here's one of these data attributes. So we're going to copy this, and now we need to add this to our actual login form. So if we go back into our code, there's a login.html page. And if we scroll down a little bit, right around line 13, this is the form element of our actual login form. So we're going to paste in that data attribute and then save it. We've got our login form configured and set up with Memberstack. We need to set up our signup form. So if we click on sign up, you'll see it just gives us two fields, email and password. But on our sign up form, we've got 4 fields for our first name, last name, email, password. So we can do add custom fields, do first name, add another one, last name. So all the fields here need to map to all the fields in our form. So now that we've got all of them, can hide that. Let's go to build a custom signup form. Let's copy this. And then what we need to do is we need to head back over to our code to the sign up page and then find that form element, which is again right here around line 12. We're going to paste that in and save. Okay, so now that we've got all of our forms and our memberships configured with Eleventy and with Memberstack, we need to actually deploy our site live onto Surge. So for that, we're going to be using a service called surge.sh, and Surge is another static site hosting service that makes it really, really easy to deploy and set up a static site. So the first thing you need to do is run this command. If you don't have it installed already, just npm install -- global surge, and that will give you access to the Surge CLI. So I can close down this. So if you do surge help, you should get a prompt. You should get a bunch of commands output. That means that Surge was successfully built. So if you go back into the code, there's a command that we need to run. Let me close all these real quick. Package.json. We've got a build script, so let's build our website using that. So if we do npm run build, this will instruct Eleventy to actually build and create our website, and it puts everything inside of this dist folder. So this dist folder is what we actually want to deploy to Surge. So once you have Surge installed and you've built your site, you can just do surge dist, which the surge command will just deploy it, and then dist is the folder that we want deployed. Hit enter, and then it's showing the project is dist, that's the folder, and then this is just a random domain that Surge is giving me. Hit enter again. Great, so if I go to this, now you can see our site live up on Surge. So another thing we want to do, and I've done this as just kind of like a little helper, is copy and paste this URL, head back over to the code, and I've got a special deploy script here, which essentially what this does, when you do npm run deploy, it's going to build the site with Eleventy, and then it's going to run surge dist and then pass in the domain here. So this is where you need to paste in the domain that Surge gives you without all the HTTPS stuff. And so this way Surge will deploy that site to this domain again. Otherwise, if you just run surge dist, it's going to deploy the site, but it's going to give you a completely different domain. Okay, so now that we've got our site deployed, let me close down some of these so I don't get confused. So here's our site that we just deployed. Let's try to access basic account. And as you can see, now we're redirected to the login page. So if we go back to the home page, let's sign up for a basic account. Jane at test.com. Give it a password, hit continue. And as you can see, now Memberstack takes over and it's giving me this nice modal. I'm signing up for the basic plan. It's $49 billed per month. And because we're in the test mode, it's just giving you a kind of a dummy credit card. So confirm and pay. And so now that I've paid and I'm logged in, now I get access to the premium, or I'm sorry, the basic account. But let's see if it'll redirect me if I'm in the premium, if I try to access premium. So now, even though I'm logged in as basic, if I try to access premium, it's redirecting me to the login page. So far it looks good, everything's working, but there's only one little problem. There's no way for me to actually log out because I haven't created a logout button. So let's do that real quick right now. So if we go back to our code, go back to the basic folder here. Sorry, basic, and the account page. Okay, so here's our nav, this basic/upgrade change plan. That's this button right here. So I'm going to duplicate this code. I'm going to make another button just above it for our logout button. So the href is, the value is going to be /ms logout. So this little special URL will tell Memberstack to log me out. So now that we've made a change, we need to save that, and then we need to deploy it up to Surge again. So we can run that deploy script, which will tell Eleventy to build it, and then it'll tell Surge to deploy it. And so it was a success. Let's come back here. Let's refresh the page. We should already still be logged in, and now we've got our logout button. So if we click this, we are redirected back to the home page. If we try to access basic again, even though we're not logged in, it's going to send us back to the login page. So that's great. Everything with the basic seems to be working. Now let's do the same thing for premium. So let's sign up for a premium account. Jane Doe, jdoe at test.com. Okay, so now we've got the premium plan. It's billed yearly and it's $499. Let's pay for it. Great, so we log in. Now we're redirected to the premium account. And if you remember, because we went to, let me show you real quick. Premium users should be able to access both premium and basic, if you remember. So basic plan and premium. So let's come back here. Let's try to access basic. So now as a premium member, you also get access to the basic account. And one thing you notice too is in the premium account section, there's no logout button. You already know how to do this. I just showed you. So if you want as like a little bit of homework or a little bit of a test, you can figure out how to add it to the premium account section. But I'm just going to go to the basic account and then log out. So that pretty much wraps it up for this tutorial, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. You could see how powerful Memberstack is because all we literally did was just have a static HTML, JS, and CSS bunch of files that we deployed up to Surge with just a simple command. And now as just even if you're just a front-end developer, you can build out a complete membership/subscription service with very little effort whatsoever. So I hope you'd enjoyed it. And again, the link to the article and the repo is down in the description.